Hey guys, thanks for joining another One Source personal development training. So, what are we going to do today? Today we're going to cover a lot of ground. What we're going to do is we're going to focus on promoting your coaching or any other business that you have. And what we're going to do is first, we're going to teach you how to brand yourself as an expert. I'm going to teach you how to create backlinks so you drive more traffic to your site, your blog, your social media, whatever's best, or all. Promote yourself on social media as far as Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, whatever social media that you're currently involved in or using. Also, to teach you how to create a blog on WordPress and how to promote that blog, all at a fraction at a time using ChatGPT. So let's get stuck in. Okay, so what am I going to do here? The first thing we are going to do is we're going to open up ChatGPT. Now I already have it open and signed in to save time. But what I'm going to do is just going to type in the message. What am I looking to do here? So I'm going to say write an article from the perspective of a life coach on the subject, what am I going to write about? I'm not sure. Subject of self-awareness. I don't think I've ever written about that. See what it comes up with. Okay, so, right, here we go. Very good. Now what I'm going to do, typically I won't do it now for the sake of time, but usually I would read it very carefully, make sure that I agree with everything, make some changes. But for this example, we're not going to get too caught up on that. So, and that bit right there, it ran out. It only gives you so many words. So I'll just delete that bit, or maybe I'll add a sentence. But okay, so that's a good bit. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. Then, if we're going to post it to our website, we need a meta description. So I'm going to say write a meta, write a meta description for my post. There we go. It's going to write that. Then I'm going to say what are the best keywords for my post, and this is important, separate them with a comma. I'm terrible at writing if I know I'm being watched. Typing, I should say. Okay, very good. Also too, what are some strong titles for my post? Give me some titles other than the one it already gave me. Let's see if there's anything better. Just read them as we go along here. From Insight to Empowerment, Embracing Self-Awareness for a Better Life. I like that one, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that one. You'll see why in a moment. Okay, and finally, what am I going to do? What's the final thing I need here? What is the best focus key phrase? And all this will make sense once I start showing you. Key phrase for my post. I spelled phrase wrong. It would know, but that's okay. I'm just going to correct it. And okay, so now I got everything I need. So what am I going to do? I'm going to head over to a website called Quora. And there's a reason I use Quora. Quora, if you're not familiar with it, it is a great source for building up an audience, but that's not really what I'm going to use it for. I'm going to use it just primarily to go ahead and, well, just to format my post for everything else. But I'm also going to, as long as I'm using it, I'm going to go ahead. I created something here. I don't have a whole lot, but I just use this. Like I've only gotten a handful of views there. But I do all my formatting here. And what I'm going to do, but I'm going to post it here as well because I'm mine as well, because I will get some hits and you'll see why as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to highlight that. I like it to be in bold. And so I've got my title. Then I always do this. I always write by my name. By my name. And then I want to brand myself as an expert. Life executive and business coach, because those are all my certifications and those are all the things that I do. So life executive and business coach with the name of my company, One Source International Coaching and Training. And Quora doesn't like you to put a link, but if you kind of put it in the heading like this and you put it in brackets, it doesn't seem to mind. It lets it go through. And the reason I'm doing this is because what's this going to create? It's going to create what's called a backlink. So it'll be hosted on a different site and it'll have a backlink to my website. So there's that there. And maybe I'll use this symbol. And founder of the One Source Personal Development Network. So why do I do all this? Well, if somebody is thinking about working with me, what are they going to do? They're going to go to Google, and chances are they'll type in my name. And if they do, they're going to see a lot of articles of mine pop up, and it's going to say Life Executive and Business Coach. So if they're thinking of working with me as a business coach, or if they're thinking of working with me as a life coach or an executive coach, they'll see that I'm qualified, and you know I've written a lot of articles and I've got a lot of different publications out there. So that's the first thing. What else are they going to do? They might, if I'm thinking of promoting my company to a HR department, maybe do some staff trainings or something. I guarantee they're going to do their due diligence. They're going to go in and they're going to search on Google for One Source International Coaching and Training. And if so, in addition to everything else that's out there, a bunch of my articles will pop up as well. Or if somebody is thinking about becoming one of my coaches, all my coaches work under the brand One Source Personal Development Network. Okay, so if somebody's thinking about becoming a coach, they're going to do a search on Google for the One Source Personal Development Network. And again, a bunch of my stuff will pop up. So that's the reason I do that. So then the next thing I want to do is, well, I want to go ahead and put a photo in here. So where am I going to get a photo? I'm not going to go to too much trouble. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to Google. I'm going to go to images, and because I'm recording this, I think it's going a bit slow. I'm assuming that's why. But I'm just going to see what's out there for self-awareness. And what do I like? Not a whole lot of choice so far. Tips for self-awareness. Don't really like that though. That's kind of a cool one. I am, and it has all those things. Or I could just go basic self-awareness. But I'm going to go with something like that. And what I do is, instead of downloading it, which I could easily do, I just basically go in here and I clip it. Okay? I use my snipping tool. There it is there. And because I'm only going to use this one time, I'm just going to save it very quickly. Under anything at all, it doesn't make a difference to me. So now that's saved. I'm going to close that out. And I'm going to go back to my green and growing, which is what my space on Quora, and I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to insert a picture. And the picture I'm going to insert is right there. Beautiful. And then all that's left to do is to put in my article. Now again, really important to note, do not just go in and copy and paste this. I'm going to do this for this example for the sake of time. I'm not overly concerned about it. But if you start doing that too often, it just, people can just see that it's really not you doing it. And Google won't like it that much either. So you always have to go in and edit it, and you got to put your own personality in it. But it's a great starting point, and it'll save you 90% of the work. But for this example, I'm just going to paste it in there. And then I want it to look a little bit better. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go here, and I'm just going to do a couple things. I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to highlight all of them and make them bold, so they stand out a little bit. Now, again, you'll see why I'm doing this, because again, keep in mind, the goal here is not to really build an audience on Quora. If you get any hits at all on Quora, well, that's just a bonus as far as I'm concerned. What I'm doing here, I am building backlinks. I am posting on more than one site, so when people do Google searches for me, I'm branded as an expert. And I want to make sure that this is a great site for me anyway. I like the format of it. It's very simple to format, and then I can just copy and paste this wherever I want to put it, like for an example, on my website. So, and I'm going to show you how I do that as well. Again, do not just copy and paste all the time, because if you do, well, it's just not going to look good. Because if people start reading a few of your articles, they're going to see very quickly. But always put your own, and also too, it's great to go in and put your own spin on it. But also too, because you are taking the time to read it and edit it and alter it, what are you doing? You're learning about it. As a coach, you're learning some tips. You're learning, some, basically self-awareness tips that you can use. And every day, if you're doing this every day you're learning about a new topic or reinforcing what you already know. And you might be picking up a few things. But if I look at that, yeah, you know what? That doesn't look half bad. Okay, so there we go. So that's that one done. So where's the first place I want to put this? Okay, so that's one backlink created, and I guarantee you, Quora comes up very high on Google rankings. So if somebody is looking for, self-awareness tips, there's a good chance this will pop up when they do a search on Google. Also, too, if somebody does a search for Patrick Cahalan, there's a good chance that it'll pop up. If somebody does a search for One Source International Coaching and Training, it will. Or One Source Personal Development, it will. So, but what am I going to do? First, I want to copy this little bit here. Actually, no, I won't. Yeah, I will. I'll copy the whole thing right there. And I am going to go where? I'm going to go over to Facebook. I want to actually post this up on Facebook, I think. So I'm going to go here, Facebook, and again, operating a little bit slow. Apologies for this, because again, I can only assume it's because I'm recording, because it's usually much faster. Okay, so when I log into Facebook, I'm going to come into the One Source Personal Development Network page. Okay, so what do I want to do? I want to do a post here. These are all previous posts that I've done. And again, I try to post every day, sometimes more, but at least 6-7 times a week I like to do a post. And what am I going to do? I'm going to go in here, but I don't post on there. I always use the business suite. I find it better. So you can also post on Instagram too, which I'll show you another time how to do that as well, because you can do both from here. but I'm just going to click on to create a new post. And what am I doing? I am posting onto the OneSource page, OneSource Personal Development Network. And right there, I'm just going to type cut and paste. Okay, so that's the title, and that's my bio right there. The reason that that I do it like this is because, well, they don't let you bold it. They don't let you just, and it gives you more space for editing here. But once I got that in, I just go in and I copy the article. Now, the unfortunate thing, it will not copy all the bold, and it will not allow you to put bold into Facebook, which is really nasty, I think. I don't understand why they don't do that. It would just look so much better if they allowed you to, you know, put a bit of color in editing and put some bold and things like that, but so be it. So I paste all that in there. Now, the thing to be aware of is that it's not going to copy exactly. It's not going to copy the bold. So what I like to do is kind of separate it. I'll just go like this. Okay, so that's the first one. Go in there. Go in there. Move that down a little bit because for some reason it brings everything together when you just copy and paste it in. So this Quora is not great for Facebook, but nothing is. That's the thing. Facebook is a very difficult one. But it's great for my WordPress site that I'm going to show you. It'll come in really nicely when I just copy and paste it in. Then create to my blog on my website. So what do I got? Okay, all that's in there. Okay, then I'm going to add a photo. Now, typically when I'm done, what I would do, and I'm not going to do it now for the sake of time, I would go in and I would create a bunch of, I would post this to a bunch of different groups. And the reason I would want to do that is because I'm creating backlinks and I'm putting my name and the name of my business and everything else on other sites. Again, drive more traffic. Not going to worry about boosting the post. And so where are we at? I need to update this, refresh it. Okay, and what did it come out like? I scroll down. From insight to empower, embracing. Yep, there we have it. So again, it's got my name there. It's got the link. It's got everything spread out nicely. Now, what am I going to do here? I was going to add a button, but I won't bother for this example. So, okay, so if I wanted to, I could normally go in here and I could share it to a bunch of different groups and things like that just to get more awareness to it, but I'm not going to for this example. So again, that's just a quick post onto the Facebook. So I've got my article, I've got my name, I've got the business name, I've got OneSource Personal Development Network, and I have a backlink to my website. So now what am I going to do? So now I'm going to go in and I'm going to go to my WordPress. And I'm going to put it into my blog. And didn't show up, so I'm going to do it again. Excuse me. And this is why, now you're going to see why I like to put it first in Quora. I'm just going to copy and paste this. It's got everything already done. It's exactly the way I want, and I'm just going to add a title and my credentials down there, and then I'm going to edit everything with something called Eliminator. It's just a plugin that I use on WordPress. It's just a good editing tool. Well, that's doing, no, that will wait. Again, do apologize. Usually not this slow. Okay, so what do you got? You got your title. You got the first bit. So now what do we want to do? We want to go in and we want to add a place to put my photo. And I'm going to click and drag my photo over here. What image do you want to put? I have to upload an image. Select the file. There it is there. Insert. There we have it. So you got my title, my credentials, my photo. All that's missing is my article. Now the reason I post a blog is, again, brand myself. When people come to the site, they can go ahead and see that, you know, I am very active and that I talk about a lot of different topics, which brands me as an expert. And truth be told, I've been doing this for a very long time, talking and coaching and working and training in this area. So I do consider myself an expert on personal development. I do a lot of different workshops, a lot of group trainings, things like that. So, but again, when people are just researching, well, they don't really know me. So when they see things like this, it gives them a bit of comfort. So then I'm just going to take all my stuff and I am going to create another text space. Or I can just go in there. And because I did this whole thing first on Quora, it just pastes right in there nicely. It's all done. Okay, so I'm just going to go now and I'm going to publish that. Again, I would typically edit it a bit better and I would make sure that it's exactly what I want. But for this example, I'm not going to. I know I sound like I'm repeating myself because I am, but I just want to drive that point home. Make sure that you don't just cut and paste ChatGPT. You want to go in and make it your own. So now, what am I doing now? Now I am going back to that before it, even though it's already out or it's already live. I just want to add a few things. Okay, so what do I want to do? I want to go back into here, and remember I said write a meta description for my post. That's that right there. Because that's one of the things right now that WordPress will be looking for. WordPress, you see here, it says what's the meta description. So I just paste it right in. When it's orange like that, it tells me it's okay, that it's happy with it. I'm going to go ahead and just I'm going to get rid of that stuff. The slug is just basically the extension. So mine would be onesourceict.com / and that's very long, from insight to empowerment, embracing self-awareness for a better life. Bit too long for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some of that out. I'm just going to make it onesourceict.com / self-awareness for a better life. That sits with me a lot better. So we got everything done as far as our meta description, our title, the SEO title is in there. This is what it'll look like when people do a search. When it pops up in Google, it'll show, onesourceict.com, self-awareness, blah, blah, blah. From insight to empowerment, embracing self-awareness for a better ... Then it gives that little meta description and my image. So that looks pretty good. I think somebody would click on that if they were doing a search. So what's missing? I still need my focus key phrase. So remember I went in here and I said at the time, what's the best focus key phrase for my post? I came up with this, and yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and paste that in there now. Okay, so these things are the important ones. The SEO, it's relatively good. It's happy enough with that. It's not giving a big smiley face, but it's saying it's okay. Same thing with the readability. SEO title, not the best, but it doesn't really matter. And the meta description is good enough. So yeah, I'm happy with all that. I'm just going to post that now with the updates. And I'll show you in a minute what it looks like. But we're not done yet, because you want to make sure you optimize as far as getting enough traffic to the site, and that you're going to get it listed with Google as well. So what is Google going to look for when I'm doing this? Well, it's going to look, if you remember, I said I need a couple things. I need my keywords and things like that. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to do a quick little edit. So there it is, from Insight to Empowerment. Quick edit. There's my title. I want it under my personal development blog. I have a business development one and a personal development one. That would just be categorized. I want it under personal development. Okay, and you'll see why in a minute. So I still got to put in those keywords. And remember I told you when you do the keywords, you got to separate them with a comma. You ask the thing rather than in a list format. This is why. Because when I copy them, I'm just going to go in here and paste them there. So they're all in there. All the tags are in there now. But I always like to add a couple. So I'm just going to type in the name of my company. In case somebody's searching for my company, because the tags is the way that Google searches for things. A lot of times it always search the tags first. Then I'm going to do One Source Personal Development Network. And then if somebody's looking for me, I'm just going to put my name in there as well. So if somebody's doing a search for me, it's going to pop up. Okay, so all of that's done now. Got my tags in. It's going under personal development. Everything looks good there. I'm just going to update that now. And the only thing left now is to check what it looks like and make sure that it's going to be listed in Google. So what do? I'm just going to go into here. Don't need to worry about this anymore. I'm going to go onto my website, onesourceict.com. Check it out. Here's my my website. Here's my two different blogs. I got my personal development blog and I got my business development blog. I'm going to look underneath my personal development because that's where I put it. That's what this is. So there it is, from insight to empowerment, so embracing self-awareness for a better life. If I go into it, okay, this is what it looks like. So yeah, looks good there. Usually you won't see any of this stuff. It's just because I'm logged in now and you won't see this heading at the top. It's just because I'm in I'm actually logged into my my website right now. That's why. But anybody else wouldn't see any of that. So yeah, happy enough with the way it looks, but this is what I'm here for. After checking out, remember I told you onesourceict.com / and then the slug, self-awareness for a better life. I'm just going to copy that very quickly. And there's a reason, because I want to make sure that Google knows that I've added a post to my website. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go in here and I'm going to go to the Google Search Console. Okay, welcome. If you don't know about this, just Google it and you'll find out, but this is where you make sure that you're listed. I can do a separate video on this, but I'm not going to take time now. So I'm just going to paste that in. What's it going to do now? It's just going to check that basically I own that name, OneSourceICT. Yeah, ownership auto-verified, so it knows that, yeah, I can go ahead and add something to that. Excuse me. So here I am in the Search Console. I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to have it inspect it. And I guarantee it's going to come back saying it's not listed. I mean, because how would it be listed? I just created it 3 minutes ago. Okay, so I'm just going to go in there now. It's telling me URL is not on Google. I know it's not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to request that you index it. That's what we're doing here. We're indexing your post. Because again, that's how Google is going to find it when people do a search. And that's how it's going to drive traffic to your website. That's how it's going to pop up when people do a search for your name, or the name of your company, or your credentials. That's why it's so important. That's why I always put my name, who what I do, the name of my company, and the name of my personal development network, the One Source Personal Development Network. Now this always takes a minute, so we'll just be patient, and it's just testing it right now just to see if the URL can be indexed, that it's in the proper format, that it's not anything against the Google listing rules, and it's telling me indexing has been requested. It's been added to a priority crawl queue. So that means it's going to get done. It doesn't, even if I didn't do this, it still would get listed, but it might take 4, 5, 6 weeks. I just like to do it right away because it only takes a minute. So now it'll be within the next couple days. Google will come and do a crawl of it. It'll get all the information it needs to get listed, and that's it. So what have we done here? In a matter of a couple minutes, we did a post on Quora. So when people do a search, they'll find it. Plus, I will get some traffic. I won't get a whole lot of hits off it because I don't really promote on Quora, but I will go ahead and get some people that will find it on Quora. I'll get ranked on Quora with Google, so when people do a search, it'll show it there. I've created a backlink. I've also created a backlink on Facebook as well, and I put a post up on Facebook, and I've added it to my blog, all in what, I don't know, maybe about 12 minutes, 15 minutes, something to that effect. 32 minutes, but I'm going a little bit slow because I'm explaining it. So, okay, guys, so hopefully you got something out of that. We're going to do a whole series of trainings on ChatGPT because there's so much you can do for this. But if you look at what we just did there, in a very short period of time, and again, I could have probably went a lot faster. I was just taking time to explain. But in a very short period of time, we created an article, we posted it, we put it on different social media, put it on our web page with our blog post. We've got it listed with Google, so it could be indexed. All of that in a very short period of time. When I used to do this before, I'd be lucky if I would get one article a week done. Because it would, before ChatGPT, it would take me, it takes hours to write a decent article. Now I can go ahead and I can get it done, get it posted, learn about it because I'm reading the topic and I'm editing ChatGPT's. So at the same time, I'm getting more information, more knowledge. But again, in a fraction of the time, if you were to spend realistically 30 minutes to an hour max a day and do that, just imagine what you can achieve within a year. It's not going to happen overnight, but after a year, you're going to have literally hundreds and hundreds of articles out there, hundreds and hundreds of backlinks driving traffic to your website. When anybody does a search for you, the name of your company, excuse me, anything at all, you're going to get a lot. They're going to get a lot of information, and you're going to look like an expert, and you will become an expert. So try it out. Check out my site as well. Obviously, go on Google, do search. You'll see all the stuff that pops up underneath the different articles. But look, that's it for now. Like and subscribe if you got anything out of this, and be sure to check back again because we'll be posting up on another training shortly. Okay, for now, thanks very much.